when I go to a networking event, well, they're starting up a bit in person again, because I love public speaking, being a trainer and all that. But networking events, I'm shy. I'm hovering in the corner. I'm sort of standing there with my cup of tea, and when nobody looks, I leave. So what I do, and this might work for others as well, instead of trying to connect afterwards with the people I've met, if there's a list of attendees, I'll go through it beforehand. Anyone I'm already connected with, I'll send them a message, say, hey, I see we're both going there. Hope to see you tomorrow. But the people I'm not connected with, I'll invite. And in my LinkedIn invite, I'll say, hey, I noticed we're both going there tomorrow. You know, how about we connect here and hopefully I'll get to meet you there. I mean, I'm still shy and everything, but there's bound to be 2 or 3 people that actually, once they notice me, go like, oh, you're Petra, you sent me that message yesterday. And then I have conversations and I no longer have to hover in the corner. So it's a little bit along the lines of what you said, but I love your tip, Tony, because you know that I don't do outreach because it just scares me. But I know if I could find ways that were less scary, I could do a little bit more of it. And I think this is a great tip. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the people listening now or the recording will really like it. So if you were making a cup of tea, rewind to where Tony was talking for me, because that was brilliant.
Oh, thank you. And what's really uncanny, I'm going to change around the order of questions now, because one of the questions I had in was, how can I go about approaching people on LinkedIn that I've met at a conference I've attended? So, so your example is great of actually, why don't you try and connect with them before the conference so you get to then meet them in person? But if you've met people at a conference, I mean, you wouldn't think twice about sending them a connection request, would you?
No, absolutely, because you can refer to something you spoke about. And those that you haven't met, but you've got that whole list, you can invite and say, you say something about what you really liked about that conference or event, and then say, you know, I spoke to so many amazing people, but obviously couldn't get around to everyone. How about we connect here? And, you know, who knows, we might be able to catch up later, or whatever is your style. But so I think my strategy is doing it beforehand, because then I know at least people are going to talk to me. If you do it afterwards, those that you have spoken with, you can refer to that. The speakers, you can say something you liked about what they said, and the others, you can just share something exciting about the event and then say how you couldn't connect to anyone. Now, there's also the thing at the event, right? On your phone, you can create a QR code and the other person can scan it, but then you have to do that one-to-one. And
yeah,
the big risk of connecting with people on the spot is not adding a message, because you're standing there right in front of each other. But that invitation gets saved. So if you connect to someone and then just forget about them, and 3 years later they reach out to you and you haven't got a clue where did that person come from, that is why I say always, so anyone who doesn't know me yet, feel free to connect to me on LinkedIn, but mention that you saw me speak here with Tony, because then if ever we talk to each other again in the future, I can still see that in the chat, like where we met, and that makes it a lot easier to establish relationships, because you can refer back to it even though you had forgotten about it, because you just got that reminder there.
Absolutely. No, that's really great advice. So definitely don't be shy about sending a connection request. If you've met people at a conference, definitely. But even just you being at the same conference, or you're going to be going to the same conference, is again already a very non-threatening way to approach people. People don't feel like they're going to be immediately sold to because you're contacting them, because you're both doing the same thing. And just to highlight that, I mean, we do loads of work in the US, and obviously in the US trade shows and expos and things are really massive, and it's a very, very successful approach to connect with people before the event and then to, you know, line up that you're going to have coffee meetings or lunch meetings or whatever with people once you've connected with them. So sort of what you're talking about, Petra, but on, you know, bigger scale.
Yeah, I love that.